Words cannot describe how utterly confused and bored I am. The world is all black. I can't find anything in sight, nor can I hear anything. I can't move. I literally can't do anything. Let me start out by describing how it came to this. 1 year earlier, I had just woken up laying around in a room what looked like a living room with paintings on the walls and such. But that was not what struck me the most. The most distinct features of the place were the couch, a table, and an entertainment center with a TV mounted on it. Blinking, I thought to myself, why? Why am I in a room like this? I walked around for a bit, examining myself in a mirror. Just a simple t-shirt and jeans, nothing special about me, or the clothing. I'd make my way past the mirror to the door in this living room, figuring that I'd seen the rest of whatever house this was. When I stepped out, however, I was lucky there was steps below me, because I noticed that all around me. Everywhere I looked, it was black. No stars, nothing. So I was in a living room with no escaping other than seeing what this black void had to offer. I did not venture past the black void, though. The black void was obviously a sign I'm supposed to stay in, right? Taking a few steps back, I'd gone back into the living room, sighing slightly. There was no food here, I recognized. But what I also recognized, I was not tired and could run around without losing breath. And at the same time, I didn't need to eat and drink. Was this death? I thought not. I could tell I was still alive since I felt pain when I pinched myself. Deciding to do the only entertaining thing in the house, I walked over to the couch, plopping myself down on it and reclining my legs on the table. When I grabbed the remote, something clicked in my mind. Don't I have a family? Friends? A dog at the very least? Why did I forget them? This stayed in my mind for a few minutes, but I shrugged it off. What was I supposed to do? Wish for them? Bah, this is probably just some wacko dream I'm having. Flicking the on button to the TV, I noticed something off about it. Nothing played. Nothing turned on. Were the batteries dead? As I examined the remote, a flicker came on as the TV began slowly depicting an image. All the shows that were available were unfamiliar to me. I knew the shows such as Ren and Stimpy, Adventure Time, and a few others on other channels. But nothing on here was like those. Not even close. A smile etched on my face, though. Could these be new shows that never were released that I'm getting to watch? I decided to go to 46, my favorite channel since it was my lucky number, and waited. Silence. Was there no show? Sighing, I was just about to turn the channel up one before it buzzed. The blurry image of a commercial starting. That was unfortunate that I had to sit through a commercial, but it didn't matter. The commercials were, to say the least, off. They advertised nothing. They didn't even have things advertising the show. The commercials were all one song looping over and over that sounded like a high-pitched buzz, then a low-pitched buzz. For a video, we were watching things float by. It made me groan having to sit through this, but after about 3 minutes, the show came on. It seemed normal. It was a comedy about a couple. Normal, right? Everything just seemed too normal. Like the fact that everyone's face was one blank expression, like they were locked in place. When they spoke, their lips opened, not even opening and closing, just opening as words were spoken, which appeared to be a fake voice coming out, like one of the voices you hear for GPS systems that is programmed in. It was actually quite eerie. Flipping channels again, things only got weirder. The next TV show that aired had just ended. The credits showed two men's floating heads, presumably the creators, watching as their credits rolled by, commenting random things such as, "Hey, I know that guy," and "Him, he was always a downer." As it continued, it was advertising another show at the same time, but I couldn't keep my eyes off of the two heads. They were, to say the least, amusing. I did notice, however, other body parts falling from the sky, along with the credits, the two heads making morbid jokes about them as the blood hit them and the text on screen. Just as that finished, the company's logo was supposed to show up, but instead it showed a room on screen, much like the one I was sitting in, right in the same exact spot. The camera ever so slowly turned to the left, and just as it finished, a face was just barely able to make out a scream coming from the mouth it did not have. This startled me, but what's next startled me even more. An actual logo, but not the company of the show that just ended, showed up. It was a black chess piece that was just sitting there behind a red background. A man's voice that was unlike the GPS voices I heard earlier spoke up. "I am the lord of all that exists within here. You are in my cage, and I control what you see, what you wear, who you are, and how you live. This is merely my game, and you can die whenever I choose." As it said this, a misty black hand reached down, flicking the chess piece down as it fell over. The camera zooming out only slightly to reveal what looked like just a man coated in a thick layer of black mist, his eyes being two white slits, no mouth, no other features. Just enough to make him humanoid though. "I know where you are. I know what makes you tick. Don't even think about escaping, little one." I kept a hand on the remote, but I couldn't bring myself to press the off button, like there was a magnet between my finger and the button keeping it apart. Finally, and flicked my wrist, the remote flying directly towards the TV and just merely bouncing off the glass. This wasn't good. The image of this man, as strange as it was, sent shivers and chills down my spine. I couldn't stand to look at him. Like something about him was just that intimidating. I got up from the seat and bolted towards the door. It was my only escape. The black mist man was about to bolt the door down, but it was too late. I shoved my entire body forwards, thus breaking the door and jolting myself into the blackness, the unknown, the voice that I had feared so much. After a few hours, the room began moving away. I was still in place, but the room moved on its own. I watched it, floating, drifting, out of my sight. Finally, only one thing caught my eye. The mist man was sitting directly in front of me, chuckling, but with no mouth to show a grin. "You are a pawn in my game, a mere mortal in an immortal's presence. When a pawn leaves the chessboard, they are considered out of the game. But where do they end up? You will find out soon enough." Just as he had said this, his body slowly faded away. Now here I am, stuck in the void, nothing to do, nothing to say, nothing I can say. I'm just a pawn that left the board. Now I'm nothing in a vast landscape of nothingness. But what could be my fate? I can't age. I can't move. I can't die. I can't even speak. I'm stuck here, in this purgatory. I'm alone. I'm nothing.